True to his word, Uncle Bucko was burning up the highways and byways Tuesday morning, gathering parts. Not only for my generator, but also for the dually, to fix the rear end. His first stop was the Cummins dealer to pick up a new belt for the generator. He claims that only an Onan Cummins belt will work. We'll find out when he gets back, I guess. Second, he went to Goodale Auto and Truck Parts to pick up the ring and pinion and bearings for the dually rear end. I'm just hoping that by the time he gets back here, he shows me something that tells me this generator is going to work right. Learn me something.
Chumpy's belt, Cummins belt. See the grooves?
Yeah.
Grooves of Chumpy. See how much thicker they are?
Chumpy's belt's better.
No. Chumpy's belt doesn't fit. The grooves are wrong, so the last groove actually rides up on the edge, and that's what shreds, and that's what throws the belt off, and that's what pisses you off.
So it wasn't the bushing that you claimed that I didn't maintain.
No, the bushing is bad too, and luckily for you that I'm really smart, I got the bushing as
You're
well.
really smart? What is this bushing?
It's the one that goes behind the tensioner. Spaces it correctly.
Lack of maintenance.
That's your lack of maintenance.
No, you're the maintenance guy.
How many times you changed your belt on this thing in your entire life of owning it? I'm waiting.
So I guess you could call that good news on the generator. And I got some more good news a little bit later. Uncle Rob showed up to help today, and the tire fairy showed up. As promised, Joseph Thomas from Garage Built Racing had me a brand new set of CO7s on the front porch this morning. While Kenny and Jeremy are wrestling those tires trying to get them apart, Uncle Robbie's doing his thing underneath the Nova, fixing the wiring on the trans brake solenoid that we had to replace quickly down at Clay City, Kentucky. So while Kenny's working on tires and Uncle Robbie's working on this trans brake solenoid, I get sent into Jegs to make a parts run. Uncle Rob needs some Zeus fasteners, we need a new trans brake solenoid to keep as a spare, and we need a line lock button. And what I'm hoping is that when I get to Jegs, they might have one of these fancy gear shift handles like the one I've got in the Malibu, so I can put the line lock right on the shifter. So after a quick stop to fuel up the Malibu, I make my way into downtown Columbus, up on 11th Avenue in the traffic. Luckily on E85, the old Malibu doesn't bother to get hot, even with the air conditioning on, sitting in traffic. So I run in the store, and luckily they come back out with the shifter handle I need, the trans brake solenoid I need, and the Zeus fastener pieces I needed. While I'm in the store, Miss Harley's back at the shop shipping orders, and Kenny Powers has been busy working on Billy's Nova. He's got both of the parachutes mounted on the back of it, and he's got the CO2 bottle mounted inside the cab of the S10 like I asked him. As soon as I got back, Robbie put a pigtail on our spare solenoid, and Kenny put the new shifter handle in the Nova so that we can hook up the line lock, and thankfully Uncle Bucko had my generator back in the trailer up and running. But he's not done for the day. He's headed back up to the farm to work on my dually and try and get that rear end fixed. Tuesday evening, we worked right up until dinner. Out in the shop, on the Nova, cleaning up, putting tools away, and doing some wiring. Kenny and Harley stayed here till almost 9 o'clock that night. They were busy out there in the shop all day long. And Jeremy was making progress up at the farm too. He had the carrier pulled out of the dually, and he got the pinion pressed out of the pinion support. As long as we don't tear anything else up tomorrow, he should have everything he needs to put the dually back together and have time to get it done. Meanwhile, back at our house, Vicky just about had dinner ready. She made beef and noodles for everybody. Uncle Robbie couldn't turn that down. So he stayed to have dinner with us. We talked a little bit about what we need to accomplish tomorrow. Because this is Tuesday night, we've got all day Wednesday to work on cars, and then Thursday, Tess and Tony are coming in town. So I want to get the Malibu cleaned up and get some yard work done before they get here. So that's exactly what I did Wednesday morning as soon as I got outside. I'm pretty excited to go over this Malibu later on today with that clay bar that Jack Miner gave me. But this thing's so dirty I had to give it a bath first. I was just finishing up cleaning the Malibu up and drying it off when Paige rolled in the mail truck. That was my cue to hit the road. I took off in the Malibu down to see Mark so I could pick up some shop supplies and maybe pick up a little something to eat while I'm out on the town. And I gotta be honest with you, I look under rocks for reasons to run errands in this Malibu, especially on days like today. By the time I got back from Mark's down at Buckeye Lake, Uncle Robbie had made his way to the shop and he was busy as a beaver. What do you think, Uncle Rob?
I think we're kind of ahead of the game right now. It's Wednesday, and we have just this thing to kind of look over and get the converter fixed.
That we know of.
That we know of. Probably check fuel filters, stuff like that, just some maintenance stuff on it. We haven't done a lot on the truck here lately because we've been building the Nova. Trying to get it ready.
Why don't we get it up on the lift, drain the oil out of it while we're waiting on Billy and Uncle Bucko. We'll go ahead and get the oil drained out of it and change the oil. With everything we've had going on lately, working on the Nova and working on the Falcon and racing, the truck has really taken a back burner. It's always been neglected, but especially the last few weeks. Even I had forgotten that the converter needed to be welded up. So I called Uncle Bucko while he was dropping off my drive shaft down at Super Duty to stop by on his way back so he could help us get this converter repaired. The last time Billy raced the truck was at Magnolia, and it spit one of the converter bolts out as it went through the finish line. The other two bolts were loose, and one of the bolts tried to rip the mounting flange off the converter. So we definitely want to get that welded, and we want to make sure it has 3 matching converter bolts that are Loctited and installed properly. Currently, we have 3 running race cars, 4 if you want to count the Malibu. And that's a lot to keep up with. It's hard to remember what each car needs. So it really takes all of us working together to keep all these cars running and maintained. Not only the cars, but the tow vehicles and the trailers as well. So while everybody's either busy eating lunch or working on race cars in the shop, it was a perfect opportunity for me to go outside and take that clay bar to the Malibu. Even after I gave the old Malibu a bath this morning, I couldn't believe how bad one side of the hood was compared to the side that I just clay barred. The combination of the clay bar and the Hawaiian shine made all the difference in this Malibu. Now the hood's base coat clear coat, but the rest of this car is 43-year-old lacquer, but it looks like the day it was new. As I'm finishing up out in front of the shop on the Malibu, the boys are inside finishing up on the S10. Kenny installed a brand new Wix Racing oil filter and filled the crankcase up with 7 quarts of Brad Penn 2050. And one of the last things we needed to get accomplished today was adjusting the front wheel bearings. We were all winding down for the day when my phone rang with a phone call from Tommy. Well, I've been summoned to Tommy's house.
Another collection piece.
He's found a truck and he wants me to go look at it with him.
That's scary.
So, Thomas, my youngest son, just got off the phone with me and he is wanting to go look at a truck, another truck. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, I think this would be the 4th truck Tommy's asked me to go look at with him. The first was a 71 C10. He tore it all apart. It's laying out back. The second was his Blazer, and he ran that until the transmission went out of it, raffled it, and then ended up keeping it because the guy couldn't afford to make the trip to come and get it. Then he bought this red S10. He drove it for approximately 2 weeks and the engine blew up in it. Oh, and he bought this 92, 93 short bed, tore it all apart, and now it's sitting here. So now we're gonna go look at another one. Now Tommy doesn't have the best track record when it comes to buying cars or trucks. But this time, he's telling me he's found a low mileage 1979 short bed Chevy pickup truck. And Tommy tells me it's a low mileage, nearly rust-free original truck. What's going on?
I sent you another truck.
Another truck? I haven't seen that. What is it?
It's a 79 C10. It's literally just down the road. I've happened to drive past it like 18 times now, and it's calling my name.
A 79?
Yes, it's a step side.
Short bed?
Mm-hmm. And
That
it's
sounds
very
good.
low mileage.
How low?
Like 38,000 miles.
Why are we still sitting here?
Waiting on you, bub.
Well, let's go. Now, Tommy is trying to find something to daily drive. He has enough projects. But somehow, he always ends up with a project truck to daily. Now, I've got to admit, I had high hopes this time that Tommy actually found something worth bringing home. Before we get out of this car, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's not that bad. You can use a little paint. You said look for a grandpa's truck. You said if it has if it has a mud flaps, a bed cap, and it doesn't run, it's been sitting, that's the truck you want. This is exactly what I found, and it's 3 minutes from my house.
What is it?
38,000 miles.
38,000 original miles?
Yep.
Wait a minute. Oh no. Are you serious? And there it is, the turd in the punch bowl. This thing is a diesel, one of the most powerless pieces of crap ever built.
The only issue.
The only issue goes around this thing 3 times.
You said clue number 1.
Running boards,
Clue
mud
number two.
flaps,
Clue number
and a
3.
truck cap. You've got 3 of the 4 items that you desperately need. So I tried to explain to Tommy the other night on the phone that if he would just look for an old grandpa's truck, he could probably find something decent. And this is definitely an old grandpa's truck, but I had no idea he would look for a diesel.
It literally has 38,000 miles.
You know why? Because no one wants to drive this miserable pile of... Clearly, young Thomas had his heart set on this thing.
So look underneath of it.
I don't have to look underneath of it. I'm standing right here looking through it. Although the truck only has 38,000 miles, it has plenty of rust.
Okay, so it needs a bed. I could bond it. That'd probably be fine.
Is the truck salvageable? Yes. Is it daily driver worthy? Absolutely not. Thomas, make it make sense. Evidently, when Allison found out he was out looking at a truck, she called to make sure that someone went with him because he has a terrible track
It's
record.
another shit box.
We went home, had dinner, and then Billy pulled the Nova inside to do an oil change. So how'd the oil look in it?
Probably didn't need change, but since we're keeping an eye on the filter and trying to keep a close eye on this thing since it's new, we just want to make sure that we don't have any issues. We'll just keep changing it every week until we get comfortable with it. The oil pressure is still good when I first started up, and nothing's down, so sounds good. I think we're fine.
I should have an oil filter cutting tool tomorrow morning. Mark's getting me one down at A1.
Okay. Yeah, that'll help because then I don't have to try to cut my hand off with a razor knife.
What are you doing, Tigger?
Well, 5 minutes ago I learned how to gap spark plugs. So now I'm doing my spark plugs.
Putting new plugs in the Falcon?
Yeah, we're on a good schedule of about, well, this is the second time, so we've had the car for almost 2 years. On this mode, probably not been 2 years.
Has it been 2 years?
No, I don't think so. I've been racing a season and a half, and this is the second set of spark plugs that's coming out. So
Third.
we should do better on maintenance, but it just takes it. So I mean, I don't know. It needed plugs. I mean, they looked pretty rough, so they were getting corroded. So lack of maintenance, as Uncle Bucko would say.
What have you got for me, Squirrely?
Details. 2 days worth of details.
All right.
So we're headed to KD Dragway.
Yes.
It's in Southern Ohio, South Webster, Ohio.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a 2-day deal. Saturday, gates open at noon. They are having the chip draw at 7, and we'll be racing by 8 o'clock. The classes that are running on Saturday are big tire, tailgate, hard tire, and stick shift.
You're using a cheat sheet.
I have to. It's 2 days worth of stuff. Okay, then Sunday. Gates open at noon, chip draw at 3, racing by 4:30, so a little bit earlier on Sunday. The classes are small tire, import, modern muscle, and a second chance race for the first round losers of small tire. So, oh, and I'm doing a big wheel race for the little kids. You're helping me, by the way. That's going to be Saturday night. That'll be fun. I recommend people get there early, bring lawn chairs, bring cash. Most of these races are cash only facility, cash only vendors, concessions, and all that. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. Come and have fun.
And Tony and Tess are going?
Yeah, when do they get here? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, okay. Well, I've got all
You don't have their bedroom done.
I know, I've got all the bedding stripped, and I'm going to wash it all tonight and get their room all situated. Should I put like a mint on the pillow? Like, turn the little sign over that says vacancy.
Can I just edit that out? That was a little bit weird.
What?
Putting a mint on their pillow?
That's what they do in hotels.
We're not a hotel.
But it's like a running joke. People always ask if I have a vacancy here.
I've never heard that. Not once.
Because they ask me, not you. I'm the one in charge.
Who are you talking to about vacancies?
All right.
Somebody sliding into DMs?
No. Can we talk about merch?
Yes.
All right. So the cups went fast. I realize that now. So I have another batch coming. Don't worry. And
when will they be here?
It'll probably take a few weeks.
Oh my
But
God. We can't run a business this way.
I know it's difficult. I never know how to plan. Okay, flip around. Look at all the shop shirts. These are hard to come by. As soon as we get them in, they fly out of here. So I want to let everybody know. Look, we have a bunch of shop shirts. And up to like 6X. And I got the special long length for those tall guys that need the long length. We have some of those in stock. We have quite a few of the t-shirts in stock now too, so.
Is it all updated on the website?
It is.
theoldmansgarage.shop.
oldmansgarage.shop. And everybody loved the maintenance sticker that you showed in the video.
Oh yeah.
I've been working with Gina. She designed that. And that was her sneak peek that she showed us. And they are in the works. We will be getting a batch of both sticker and static cling. And those will be coming very soon. So they're cute. I love them.
If you want to look at my brother, I don't know anybody that wants to see that face.
Everybody loves Uncle Bucko. Everybody does. What else? Oh, yes, the C10 shirt's coming soon. I'm sorry we haven't. It gets so hectic once racing starts, and I work full time too, and just like, there's very little time for all these extra little things, but I'm trying. C10 shirt will be coming up soon. What else? What else?
I hope that's it.
Okay, that's enough for tonight. So come see us this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. Even though small tires on Sunday, we're still going to be there both days. Oh, and tell them what Tess and Tony might be racing something. Saturday? Maybe. They might come to play too.
Maybe.
So we'll have the Falcon, the Nova.
Nope.
No? Just the truck?
I think he's going to leave the Nova at home and just concentrate on the truck.
Okay. Good plan. All right. See everybody. That's all. Listen to my details just so I can make sure I said it all right. Details. 2 days worth of details.
Start again.
Okay. Details. I have the details. 2 days worth. Okay.
I didn't even ask you anything. You just...
You told me to start.
No.
Alright. Start over. Flip that out. You were messing with me.
What?
You're messing with me.
Of course I'm messing
Making
with
me
you.
repeat and repeat and look stupid.
I don't have to make you look stupid.
Listen,
What?
that sign just came in the mail yesterday.
Where'd that come from?
Read it and obey. Never argue with a woman, and that's what you're doing right now. So edit that part. Fix it.